you don't need to start an argument to spice up your relationship. To be honest, if that's what you have to do and you're that bored, then maybe you shouldn't be with that person. You can be somebody's girlfriend and be yourself. You don't just constantly need to be somebody's girlfriend. Boys will always be there, innit? Success time runs out. When you get to 50, you don't want to start doing what you should have been doing at 19, because at 50, it's going to be a lot harder. If you want Ranges and cars and houses, you want Chanel bags and Birkin bags, bro, you're not going to get that from your boyfriend's bed. So today I'm going to tell you why I think being dumped after 4 years by somebody who I thought was the love of my life was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, make sure you like, subscribe and share. We've got wine, so that means it's going to be a bit intimate.
On m'a dit pose-toi les bonnes questions. On m'a dit derrière le meilleur se cache souvent le pire. Moi j'ai répondu hors de question. Elle est la seule qui dans le noir c'est
I know the title sounds magic, but I swear I'm gonna explain myself. I know that sounds like shade, but trust me, that's not what this is about. That's not what this video is about. This video is literally about making you guys see life in a different light, seeing things in a different light. Times where you feel like, oh my gosh, like what is happening, my life is over. Those are the times, the best times to learn from. And I feel like people don't really think about that. They just think, oh my gosh, I'm out of the storm. But what did you learn in the storm? I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to boss up, like how to be that motherfucking bitch. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like people don't understand that we go through things on purpose. Like, God has a purpose for everything. So I know a lot of people are gonna watch this video and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like this is how many times she's spoken about her ex-boyfriend and this and bloody blah, yeah, yeah, shut your fucking mouth. Like I've said in previous other videos, like I'm only 23 years old. 23 on Monday, guys. I'm so scared. I'm turning 23 soon, and the most I ever learned in my life was whilst I was 16 to 20, and that's when I was in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend. So as you guys, a lot of you guys know, I've made a couple of videos on the subject. I've spoken about being cheated on. I've spoken about being dumped. I feel like a lot of people don't know the backstory, because a lot of people ask me, the recent video I done, I spoke about being dumped and catfish, and a lot of boys and girls did pop up. They were like, oh my gosh, you know the usual, like, oh my gosh, why did he dump you? But guys, I cannot lie to you, life is never as it seems. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I was terrible, whatever, but obviously because it's my channel, it's gonna be biased. I'm gonna give you a brief little background story to what actually happened. So I was 16 when I got into my relationship with my ex-boyfriend. I used to go to secondary school with him, so it was kind of like a friends thing at first. Like, he always liked me, I never really liked him, but I always enjoyed his company. And then like I grew up a little bit, so I got to like 16, and then I stopped being shallow. So I stopped thinking about all the external things that made me not want to be with him, and then I kind of just like, I did start to like him kind of thing. So it was a friendship that did turn into like a relationship. So we were together for a whole 4 years, and personally, looking back on it, I realised that it was always going to end. I know that sounds really like negative, but it was always going to end, because our relationship, like the two people that we did start to grow into different people, which is very, very natural. You're 16, like the person I was even at 21, I'm not that person anymore. So you do grow up, like you do go in different directions sometimes, and that's completely fine. But there were certain things about me that did make the relationship very hard. So I'm not saying I was, you know what I mean, like he was perfect or whatever, because the stuff about him that wasn't right, but the stuff about me is what we are. Stuff about me is what we're here to focus on today. So when we'd been together for about 3.5 years, my ex had expressed his concerns in terms of like being with me for the rest of his life, because like I said, we was together since 16. Like, it's not an easy thing to be with someone from 16 to the end of your lifetime. So this is something that did pop up a lot. Like, he did say a lot of things like, I'm not really sure if I can do this for the long haul, or like if I need a break. So towards the end, he did basically start to express his concerns of being in this relationship for a long time. And then obviously I started to realize like, right, like he's actually not that he's not happy, but does he want this for a long time? I kind of gave him an ultimatum. Like, it was like, do you or do you not want to be with me? Because I am somebody, like, I don't have time to be told like I'm not sure, I don't know. I don't like stuff like that. And I know that might come across as like very harsh or like on somebody, but I just find it hard to be told like, oh, let me think about stuff. I don't know what you have to think about. Personally, me, I find that hard, innit? I'm not saying I'm perfect and you should know, but I just feel like you should know whether or not you want to be with someone. So for me, I kind of made it an ultimatum. It was like, listen, do you want to be with me or not? You have one day. Long story short, he came to my house, basically sat me down in his car and was just like, I'm not sure this is what I want, so I'm gonna have to let this go. If you guys want a whole story on that, you can let me know, because I'll fucking tell you that story. Because now that I'm over it, it's funny, but back in the day it was mortifying. Obviously there was a lot of tears on my part. I was very sad. Obviously my boyfriend had done 4 years to fucking dump me. Do you know what I mean? At first I was really angry. Like I was just so angry at the world. Like it was just like, how could you dump me? I'm perfect, I'm pretty. But then when I started to deep what I've been doing, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. So I guess this is kind of like a how to stop being a toxic girlfriend video at the same time. First thing I noticed about me, guys, I was very attached to him. Like I was so attached to him. Like he didn't have a life, I didn't have a life, we were each other's lives, which I think is so wrong. Like you can't be in a relationship where you're each other's number one all the time, constantly with each other. Like that's not gonna work. You need breathing space. And it's not that I didn't give it to him, we didn't give it to me, we just didn't give it to each other. And the older I got, the older I realized that, oh my god, how on earth were we ever supposed to make it when we were fucking suffocating each other? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like when you are in a relationship, when you are talking to somebody, give yourself time to breathe, guys. Like I'm not saying like talk to them every 5 days. Of course you can still maintain regular contact with your partner, like I do now with my boyfriend now, without being up each other's asses. It was so suffocating. And me as a girlfriend as well, I was very on him. And I do think obviously that did come from that came a little bit from the fact that I didn't trust him, which obviously, like I said in my previous video, put it there, like I said in my previous video, I didn't trust him. So I personally think if you don't have trust in a relationship, it will not work. So I didn't trust him, so I was so on him. Like the guy would be out with his friends and I'm literally calling him every second, and not just calling to be like, hey, yeah, what are you doing kind of thing, like I do now. Like I'll call my boyfriend now, I'll be like, hey, you're right, blah, blah. He'll be like, oh yeah, I'm with this person and this person. I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll call you back. Whereas with him, I'd literally be on the phone to him. So he's with his friends and I am constantly on the phone. Like he can't even do what he's doing, he can't talk. Like one time I remember, makes me feel sick, but I was on the phone to him throughout a whole fucking dinner, guys. How can I be on the phone to you through a dinner? I'm even shocked that he didn't tell me to fuck off, because I would have been like, bro, I'm eating, you need to chill out. Do you know what I mean? But it became such a normal in our relationship that I could be like, oh yeah, like, what are you doing now? Whilst you're at dinner, and no one said that this is weird. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely do think that's something that you do need to change about yourself. If you are a girlfriend, you can't be on somebody all the time. I'm so obsessed with my boyfriend to the point where like I literally never used to go to work. Like I'd rather sit in bed with him all day than go uni, go work or whatever, to the point where I was getting paid like £100 fucking a month. I don't know how much. I worked in Primark, innit? Primark is just useless. But if that was any other job, they would have been like, let that bitch go. Do you know what I mean? Because she don't come to work. And I guess the point that comes in there is you need to be ambitious. You need to be a serious person. I mean, like, you can't, if your boyfriend's seeing that you compromise everything in your life for him, like even your success, even your money, sis, like if your man thinks you're putting a bag over him, that shit isn't gonna work, because eventually they're gonna start to see you as just a dickhead. Like I was the type of person, like, because I was always with him, like I would wake up in the morning and I would be like, oh, I'm not going to work, I can't be bothered, I want to lay in bed with you all day, which is wrong. Like no one's going to respect a girl that's not on her back. I can't lie. Like an independent woman is a woman that you respect. A woman that stays in bed with you till 7 PM at night watching Netflix when she could be making money at work is a dickhead. I'm so sorry. Like if you're watching this and you're one of my subscribers and this is something you do, Belotie, your big fucking sister, is telling you to stop that shit now. A man will not respect you if you don't make your own money. I cannot lie. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying making your money is the only reason a person will respect you, but it does contribute to the fact that if you're independent, people don't take the piss with you. Like they know that they can't be doing this and this and this with you because you're that bitch. Like you got your own money, you don't need no one to pay for your shit. You don't need nobody to buy you shit. You can do that shit by yourself. So when people approach you, they'll approach you with a bit of respect because they know that when it comes to financialness, that type of sector, you don't need them. I wasn't making the money that I needed, so therefore I was also relying on him financially. So another point that comes into that is just be a serious person. Like your boyfriend is not your life. Do you get what I'm saying? Like saving is so important, and when you're 17, 18, 19, these are the times for you to set your future, bro. So by the time you're 25, you can have 60 grand in savings. Like this is the time for you to be a serious person and to do what you need to do. So if you're compromising that, and that comes, and education comes into that as well. If you're literally not going to uni, or you're not going this, and you're not getting good grades, or you're not getting your money because of a guy, at first it might be like, oh cute, like, she doesn't want to go work for me, but eventually he's going to start to see you as a dickhead. And the maddest thing is as well, with my ex as well, I felt like he started to like seeing other girls, because there were girls out there that were on their money, they were on their back. So for me it was like, yeah, you want to chill with me all day, but she wants to get money, and that's attractive and you're not. So I do feel like that was a bit of the problem. There was other girls out there that wanted to get the bag and make their money. So for him, it was like, these people are attractive because they're independent and my girlfriend's a bum. Like, I'm so sorry, like, if you're watching this and you don't want to go work, you don't want to go uni for a boy, you're being a bum. You're being a bum, because that same boy like me can leave you after 4 or 5 years. And what are you going to say now? And we start setting our priorities straight. Like, what do you want in this life? What is it? What is it that's important to you? Because whatever's important to you will prevail. If you're putting money and your success after a boy, the boy will come out first. And when he leaves, you don't even have the money and success because you put the boy before him. Like, listen to me. I'm talking to you. I love you guys and I want you guys to do well in life. Never put a boy above your bag. Like, never put a boy above your money. Like, if you feel like a guy is distracting you from getting to your purpose, your God-given purpose, let that boy go, or change the way things are going, because things are not right. That was something that I learned about myself. Like, I was not motivated, I was not determined to do well, I was not hungry for success, because I was focusing all my energies on the boy, and it wasn't even his fault. I was doing way too much when it came to that. Boys will always be there, innit? Success runs out. When you get to 50, you don't want to start doing what you should have been doing at 19, because at 50 it's going to be a lot harder when you've got kids and a family. But if you're 19 years old, or you're 20 or 21, this is the time for you to go and chase that bag. This is the time for you to make the money you want to make the life you want to make. You want Rangers and cars and houses, you want Chanel bags and Birkin bags, bro, you're not going to get that from your boyfriend's bed. Third thing that I realized about myself, like, I had no friends left. Like, all my friends used to say to me, Belotie, you don't talk to us, you don't spend time with us, you don't reach out to us. And I thought, these people are mad. Like, I can't lie, these people are crazy. And they always used to say stuff like, oh, you talk about your boyfriend all the time and all. And don't get me wrong, like, talking about your boyfriend is fine. If you're my friend, I want you to talk about how happy you are. I want you to talk about what's going on. But I don't want your boyfriend or your relationship to be the topic of our conversations constantly. I do not have fucking time to hear about your man. I know that he exists. I know he's making you happy. That's great. I want to talk to you about you. You do not come in a pair. And that's something I used to do a lot. And when I was in the situation, I used to just think, these people are fucking jealous. And now that I look back on it, it's like, Belotie, what the fuck was wrong with you? Like, I disappeared from all my friends. Like, my friends used to constantly say to me, like, Belotie, you don't holler at us, you don't reach out to us, you don't do this, you don't do that. And I just thought, these people are mad. But now that I look back on it, it's so important to continue to live your own life, because you need to have your separate life from your boyfriends, because that is a good balance. That's a healthy balance. My boyfriend is my boyfriend, like, my boyfriend is my boyfriend, like. Because at the end of the day, you're either going to start to become repetitive to your friends, and they're not going to want to talk to you because you don't talk about anything else. Like, don't get me wrong, people want to see you happy. If somebody is your friend, they're going to want to see you happy. Like, if I'm your friend, I want you to be happy. But I don't want the conversation to be constantly centered around your boyfriend, because there's a lot of other things we can talk about. Have you even asked how your friends are? Have you asked how their lives are going? Just remember, your friends have lives too, and you are an important person in your friend's life. Sometimes your friend wants you. If they wanted your boyfriend, they'd be friends with your boyfriend too. There's a reason why they're friends with you. So just try to have your own identity. Like, I felt like I merged into my ex's identity and we became one person instead of being two separate people that we are. So yeah, that's definitely something that I feel like a lot of girls do, and we do need to chill out a bit. You can be somebody's girlfriend and be yourself. You don't just constantly need to be somebody's girlfriend. Another thing I realized was that I was a fucking bitch. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but guys, I was a bitch. Like, I was constantly moody, constantly upset. I'd be like, oh, you need to come pick me up from work. And if he said no, I wouldn't talk to him. I'd cut off the phone until he came and picked me up. That's not right at all. Like, you can't be that type of person. I was so moody all the time. I was always ready to argue. I was always ready to, like, and I feel like, as much as, yeah, cool, there are some behaviours that we just have in it. Like, I'm a Taurus, don't get me wrong. Like, I am constantly ready for battle. Like, I literally, don't even try me, because I'm not that type of person. Do you know what I mean? Like, my mouth is faster than my brain. But I think I started to take the piss with that. Like, I started to get to the point where it's like I was always ready to beef. Like, I would never go to his house and just have a nice evening. We'd always have to end it in an argument, a big argument, blood pressures raised, voices raised, arguments all night. Like, bro, no one has time for that. Like, if you're listening to this and you're that type of girl and you always want to be arguing with people and shouting and screaming, no one's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Even now, I'm just like, how did you have so much energy? Because it's impossible for me now to be doing that. And I feel like I've definitely calmed down a lot over the years. Like, I've stopped taking things for granted. Like, I used to take my ex-boyfriend for granted. I used to take the good things that he'd done for me for granted, to the point where I used to use them as a way to be like, I'm not talking to you if you don't do this. You should never take people in your life for granted, because eventually they're going to stop doing nice things for you. So if you're someone that is like that and you're a girlfriend and you're just constantly moody or upset, like no one wants to chill with moody Margaret all the time. So I'm just imagining having a person like that as your girlfriend and basically being told that you have to spend the rest of your life with that. How are you gonna do that? And I do feel like we do learn a lot of behaviors from our parents, like the whole arguing, and these are unhealthy behaviors that we learn that we need to let go of. When I was younger, I used to have this mentality where it's like I would just start an argument because I was bored, and it's like, that is not healthy, bro. That is not a healthy thing to do. I would rather a peaceful relationship, which is good for my mental health. You don't need to start an argument to spice up your relationship. To be honest, if that's what you have to do and you're that bored, then maybe you shouldn't be with that person. Like I said before, being moody, all of that did come into the fact that I did not trust this person. Like I did not trust who he was with. I did not trust how he would act around the people he worked with or the people that he was friends with. So for me, it was just like I did become very moody, and I did become very like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? Kind of thing all the time, which I think is so wrong. Like I said, I've done a lot of things in it. I've done a lot of things. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just him who ruined our relationship. We both played a 50-50 part in it. But for me, like one of the biggest things that I think fucked up my relationship was the fact that I have no self-love, guys. Like I was literally dependent on him making me feel good, whereas you should be able to make yourself feel good. Like you should have the ability to talk to yourself like, Belotie, you are beautiful, you are powerful, you are amazing. Like you should be able to see something that doesn't make you happy and be able to talk about it and leave. You should be able to see a red flag and be like, bro, whoa, I'm better than this. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of people, I do feel like a lot of people are just like, they see a red flag and they're like, oh, no, I'm not gonna find better. And that's another thing, guys. No shade to my ex-boyfriend, but it doesn't mean you're not gonna find better. Most of the times when you're in a relationship but it's not working, that person's not for you. So that means that the person that is supposed to be for you is out there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like my ex-boyfriend used to say a lot of stuff like, you'll never find anyone better than me, you'll never find anyone that loves you like me. Bro, wrong. I'm so sorry, wrong. I'm gonna find loads of them. And that comes from having self-love. Like if you don't have self-love, like you're constantly gonna be like, oh, do you know what, like will I find someone better than him? Am I good enough to find someone? Bro, you're good enough, bro. You don't believe that you're fucked. Your partner is always gonna do whatever they feel like doing because they know you ain't gonna leave. And imagine somebody having that type of hold on you. Imagine somebody constantly be like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want anyways because she ain't gonna fucking leave. Imagine that. Are you a mug? Are you a mug? Like, are you actually a fucking mug? Like imagine somebody saying, oh, fuck it, I'll sleep with Tatiana because I don't need to worry about that. Like I'll just tell her I'm sorry and I love her and that's it. Imagine somebody thinking they have that type of control over you. Bro, no. I think when I started to realize self-love, things were so much easier for me. Like even guys, like boys would move to me and I'm just like, no, you're not my type. I'm so sorry, like it's not what I can get, it's what I know I deserve. So I do think that is something that is important in a relationship. Like you need to have self-love because your partner can't take the piss with you. Because your partner knows. Like I'm a fucking bad bitch, guys. Like my boyfriend knows this, do you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things, I'm not saying he's not gonna make mistakes, I'm not saying he's not still gonna go out there because everyone's got their own heart in it. If he wants to leave me, lose me or leave me, by all means go ahead and do it. But just know that the self-love that I have is not gonna permit me to stand here and wait for you to come back. I'm not that type of person. It's just like, you need to have that self-love, guys, because people, not just boyfriends, friends, people in general cannot take the piss with somebody that is so confident within themselves. Like people can't do that because you're just like, whoa, I come first, I ain't dealing with this, and you're out. So guys, I really hope you took in what I said to you. Like this one really came from the heart because it's a hard topic to talk about, because even though like it happened a long time ago, at the same time it is something that still does make me very emotional today, but in a good way, because I learned so much about myself in that period where I was dumped after 4 years. So I know I make jokes about it and I know I make little, you know, digs or whatever here, like, but I want you guys to know, like, being taught all those things really shaped who I am today. Like I've become so different. I am a completely brand new person because of what happened to me. So for me, that defines success. Like success is doing better than you were doing yesterday. Look at the stuff that you're going through. Analyze the situation. Where did I go wrong? What can I do better? Don't just think, oh, I went through a hard time and now it's done and I'm happy. No, sit down and think to yourself, what could I have done better? But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed my video. I never feel like I'm shouting at you. I always feel like I'm shouting at you guys, but I'm not shouting at you. I literally have so much love for you guys and I want you to be boss bad bitches that you are. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe and share. Love you.
On m'a dit pose-toi les bonnes questions. On m'a dit derrière le meilleur se cache souvent le pire. Moi j'ai répondu hors de question. Elle est la seule qui dans le noir sait comment me faire rire.